What's up guys, my name is Simon Shi, and for those who don't know me, I'm on the Virginia Tech swimming and diving team. Last Sunday I posted a Draw My Life video and it'll be in the info tab up there. This week I want to give you 5 tips to swim faster. The first advice is work on your technique. If you look at the top swimmers today, it looks like they're putting minimum effort into their races, but they have perfected their technique. For example, Michael Phelps in his butterfly. Every time you take a picture of Michael Phelps' butterfly, each stroke will almost be exactly the same thing. In Ryan Murphy's backstroke, he's keeping that rotation while still getting that constant kick, propelling him forward. And Anton Chupkov's breaststroke, he always recovers and then glides the first 100 and really get maximum force from that breaststroke kick. The infamous Sun Yang in his freestyle always keeps that long and nice reach during his freestyle. And we all know in the swimming community, Caleb Dressel has his explosive starts and turns, and he blasts off the wall with his crazy underwater kick. What you want is to have a specific plan for each practice. You want to focus on 1 or 2 things per practice and keep working on it consistently for days and days, practices, and weeks after weeks. After you mastered 1 or 2 things per stroke, then move on to the next one and then keep building on from there. And you'll get better with your techniques in no time. I also found it useful to watch YouTube videos of different swimmers swimming their races and see how they enter the water, how they turn, details that they have that you want to work on during your training. The second tip I have for you is to put in the work in the pool. There is no secret. You have to work hard and push yourself in each and every single swim practice during the season. You need to put in the yardage and get that base formed. In the last tip I talked about technique. In practice, when you're very tired and you're starting to fatigue a little, you want to keep your stroke, hold your stroke. You also want to form practice habits. For example, in freestyle, always take 3 underwater strokes off each wall. Don't breathe the last 5 meters. A back-to-breast bucket turn. One of my friends, Jake, last year stayed after practice like 3 times a week to work on his underwater kick, and he improved tremendously. So that's tip number 2. Train hard, work hard, and push yourself to exhaustion so you can get better each day. The third tip I want to give you is to focus on your recovery. We all know that you may have the perfect technique, you may work very hard at the pool and pushing yourself to exhaustion each and every single practice, but recovery is very important because it lets your muscle get ready for the next practice so you can practice more efficiently. Let's say that you're working hard at practice, you're killing yourself, you're getting to that 200 heart rate range during that hard swim session, and right after practice you don't cool down and you have practice in 12 hours. In 12 hours, most likely you will experience fatigue and muscle soreness, so you're not properly rested to swim that practice. But if you take a nap, if you roll out, stretch, cool down, then in the next practice you will feel more energized and more excited to swim that practice. Some recovery methods I use are rolling out, doing the recovery pump for my legs, cold tub, contrasting where you get into the cold tub and hot tub and keep alternating, and sometimes I do yoga. I've been stretching after each practice for 15 and 20 minutes the past 3 weeks, and it has really helped me in my swim training, and I feel a lot better with my stroke and my flexibility. So recovery is for healing your muscle and getting them ready for the next practice so you can train even harder. The fourth tip I want to give you is to focus on your nutrition. Get the right food in you and eat healthy. Think of your body as a high-performance sports car, like a Ferrari. If you put high-performance fuel in your car, it will be fast. If you put low-grade fuel, gas in your car, it might mess up the engine and it won't look pretty at all. Make sure you stick to a plan, get your necessary carbs and proteins in your body. Stay away from sugar, junk food, soda, and whatever you may think that may be unhealthy. Find out what works for you, and everyone's different, so make sure you have a personalized nutrition plan for your needs. The fifth and final tip is to have a race strategy and a race prep for your swim meets. First, let's get into the race prep. So make sure you have a constant routine. What do you have to do 2 to 3 hours before your event, 2 hours before your event, 1 hour before your event? When should you stretch? When should you get in for warm-ups? How much warm-up should you do? What are you gonna do behind the blocks? Do you have a plan for your race? And stuff like that. Preparing for a meet, knowing your timeline, your schedule beforehand, the night before, and mapping out what you want to do in each time segment. So for the race strategy, everyone's different, but during the swim season, it's crucial that you try different things during your mid-season meets, during meets that don't really matter, but they do. It's just not a championship style meet. You're not tapered, you're not rested for it. You want to try different things. Some examples of different race strategies, I have them written right here. Ian Thorpe in 2002 set the 400 meter freestyle world record. He went out in 1:49.57 at the 200 meter mark and ended up going 3:40.08. 7 years later, in Rome 2009 World Championship, Paul Biedermann swam the 400 freestyle, going out in a 1:51.02 at the 200 mark. That's almost 2 seconds slower than what Ian went. And he ended up beating Ian's world record by 1/100th of a second and going 3:40.07, negative splitting his 400 freestyle. Another example is the Rome 2009 World Championship 100 butterfly. Michael Phelps versus Milorad Cavic. Cavic went out in a blazing 22.69 at the 50 mark, and Phelps was 23.36. Phelps came home hard, passing Cavic and being the first man under 50 seconds in the 100 butterfly.
It's expected he's going to have the lead at the turn. How explosive will Phelps be off the wall? Under world record pace. Again shaping up into a redo of Beijing. Left. Phelps stretching to the wall. Is he going to get it again? Yes! Cavic settles for silver again.
Putting up a 49.82. One more example is Lochte versus Phelps at the 2011 World Championship 200 freestyle. At the 100th turn, Phelps touched ahead, followed shortly by Lochte. Ryan Lochte took 8 kicks off that wall and started accelerating and passing Michael Phelps. And he ended up winning that 200 freestyle World Championship title.
Formában van. Elmarad a világcsúcstól, de nem azt kell nézni, hanem a többieket. Lobincev jön a második helyen, Phelps mögött 13 századdal, Lochte pedig 27-tel lemaradva. Mi a helyzet a középső pályán? Phelps lesz a második, vagy jön Biedermann? Phelps a második, és Biedermann.
Those are my 5 tips. I hope you can learn from them and implement them in your training. I can give you all the advice, but it is up to you to put in that work smarter, work harder, and take actions on your swim training. Drop a like if you found this content useful, and also subscribe to see more swimming videos. That's it for today's film.